a criminal charge. If he was offered, obviously, something tangible or even something intangible, like the future promise of a cabinet position. I would like to know sort of how this came about. Is it just a coincidence that he ended up as the labor secretary? And his explanation so far about why he was allowed his office to enter into this pretty shocking plea deal just don't stand up so far. So I do trust that this
of Donald Trump saying in February, oh, it's old. And where have we heard that before? We've heard that with Roy Moore. These are old allegations. With Rob Porter, his staff secretary, he said, oh, these are old allegations. A good man. I mean, Donald Trump's reflex is always to feel defensive and protective to the accused man.
Right, and he will probably point to the fact that Epstein pleaded not guilty to this as a denial. We've seen the president defend those who deny it. Today, it's hard to get an answer out of the White House since there are no longer White House briefings, and the White House has deferred questions about this today. But I think that this is something they will have to address because this is his labor secretary. And Jeremy is exactly right. The labor secretary is the person in charge of investigating the same and protecting against the same sort of crimes that we are seeing now. When we're talking about, this is not a victimless crime. This is a horrific crime of trafficking of children. And the fact that this is connected to this White House, I think in any other administration, Secretary Acosta would no longer have a job already, but they will have the very difficult task of defending him now.
Julie, I want to end where I started. I want to spend some time with you. I wonder if you can pull this thread through your body of reporting, what you uncovered, what the victims have been through, what they were denied, and what your understanding is of how this prosecution and this
Assault Debris in Florida handled this case. These were not victims. They were child prostitutes in their mind when this happened. And I think that Mr. Berman has made it very clear that this is a very serious crime, and to try to characterize this as anything other than a sex trafficking really does a disservice to the criminal law enforcement community that works day in and day out to enforce these kinds of laws against children.
Frank Fittuzzi, you and I have had a lot of conversations about SDNY. Now it's a household name because of their prosecutions of Michael Cohen and their investigation into the Trump Organization. Just talk to me about what this investigation might look like, the parts we don't yet see. So we know they searched Mr. Epstein's residence. They found photographs. We know that the charges so far are for sex trafficking of minors and conspiracy for a sex trafficking of minors crime. They're also, though, as Julie pointed out at the top of the show, they're looking for more victims. What is SDNY doing?
Yeah, there's going to be various components of this, and you can see it in the shape that we've already seen, in the sense that there's a public corruption aspect to this. There's going to be the general crimes against children aspect of this. But you know who's going to play a huge role in this is the computer forensic examiners for FBI New York. They're going to come in the fruits of that search warrant. We already know they found new photos of apparent minors, and by the way, that's huge from a legal perspective. Why? Because when they have a detention hearing, which is scheduled for Thursday, and they try to claim this guy's a flight risk, Epstein should be detained pending trial because he might flee. There's another aspect now, which is he may be an active offender. He's still in possession of child pornography. That's an additional charge. So what I'm really fascinated by is the forensic part of this. So are they going to find communications dating way back, going back to Mar-a-Lago, going back to associations with Donald Trump, other players in this? There's affiliations with Clinton. What are they going to find in communications? And even are they going to find communications related to the old charges in Florida and now perhaps concern about new charges surfacing?
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below the name. This list to see lots of other great videos. This was day 900 of the Trump administration. 561 days remain in his presidential term. And tonight, the Trump White House has a wary eye on an explosive case that the feds announced today to the north here in New York. It's a deeply disturbing and lurid sex trafficking case involving This man, 66 years old, he's a multimillionaire financier named Jeffrey Epstein, who has ties to both the president and notably his labor secretary, Alex Acosta. More on that angle in a moment. Today, federal prosecutors in the Southern District of New York, in effect, the Manhattan office of the Justice Department, charged Epstein with sex trafficking conspiracy and one count of sex trafficking. Epstein has pleaded not guilty to the charges. He faces up to 45 years in prison if convicted.
Beginning in at least 2002 and continuing until 2005, Epstein is alleged to have abused dozens of victims by causing them to engage in sex acts with him at his mansion in New York and at his estate in Palm Beach, Florida. The victims, all underage girls at the time of the alleged conduct, were given hundreds of dollars in cash after each encounter, either by Epstein or by one of Epstein's employees. The alleged behavior shocks the conscience. And while the charged conduct is from a number of years ago, it is still profoundly important to the many alleged victims, now young women. They deserve their day in court.
Epstein is now behind bars. He has a bail hearing on Monday. If it's up to the feds, he will not see the light of day. He was arrested when his private jet landed here Saturday night after a flight from Paris. His home was raided by the feds at the same time. He's had ties to several powerful figures, as you can see here, and once counted Donald Trump among his friends. Here is how New York Magazine quoted Trump for its profile of Epstein back in 2002. Quote, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy," Trump booms from a speakerphone. "He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life." Epstein owns a $56 million give-or-take mansion on the Upper East Side of New York City, one of the largest private homes in all of Manhattan. Prosecutors say they found what they describe as, quote, "a vast trove of lewd photographs of young-looking women or girls, including what they say are clearly labeled CDs of photographs by various categories." Today's charges have renewed focus on Epstein's previous arrest in Florida for sex crimes involving minors and the non-prosecution agreement he made with the feds back in 2008. Epstein's lawyers worked out a deal with the then U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta. He would be the now Labor Secretary in the Trump government. The deal, Acosta agreed to allow Epstein to plead guilty to less serious state charges, required that he register as a sex offender, serve about a year in jail, most of it in a work release program with liberal rules of attendance. At his nomination hearing in 2017, Acosta defended the deal.
There's an allegation that I just read that you did not pursue a federal indictment even though your staff had advocated that you do so. Is that accurate?
The grand jury in Palm Beach County recommended a single count of solicitation not involving minors, I believe, and that would have resulted in 0 jail time, 0 registration as a sexual offender, and 0 restitution for the victims in this case. The matter was then presented to the U.S. Attorney's Office. We decided that that a sentence, or how should I put this, that Mr. Epstein should plead guilty to 2 years, register as a sex offender, and concede liability so that victims could get restitution.
Again, he's now facing 45 years. That agreement was the focus of a series of investigative reports cited today by the feds by Miami Herald reporter Julie Brown. Earlier this year, Trump was asked whether he had any concerns about Acosta's handling of the Epstein case.
I really don't know too much about it. I know he's done a great job as labor secretary, and that seems like a long time ago, but I know he's been a fantastic labor secretary.
Tonight, Politico is reporting the White House is, as you may imagine, closely watching the coverage of Acosta's past involvement in the Epstein plea deal. One Trump advisor who remains close to the administration telling Politico, quote, The next 72 hours are critical for Acosta. This is a settled matter for people in the White House, but it's usually the response that kills you. On another front, Trump's battle with House Democrats over their inquiry into the Mueller report may be about to take a more confrontational turn. Late today, House Judiciary Committee released written responses from Annie Donaldson. You may remember she served as Chief of Staff to former White House counsel Don McGahn. Donaldson answered the committee's questions on paper, notably not in person, about potential obstruction of justice by the president. The committee says the White House blocked Donaldson from answering 212 of their questions, but she did confirm the accuracy of notes she made while working in the White House, notes that Mueller cited 65 times in his report. For instance, she confirmed that after Trump fired Comey, she wrote in her notes, "Is this the beginning of the end?" In 9 days, Mueller himself will testify before the House Judiciary and Intelligence Committees, both. Today, the Attorney General, Bill Barr, was asked about that upcoming hearing.
Next week, we've got Robert Mueller stepping before Congress for testimony. Will you be watching, and is there anything there that
I don't know if I'll be watching in real time, but I'm sure what he says will get to me somehow.
Most people have probably never heard of Matt Bowman, but Matt Bowman happens to be a top civil rights lawyer at the Department of Health and Human Services Office for Civil Rights. This is the guy that is out there every day fighting to make sure that we have equality here in the United States and that nobody is oppressed based on their gender identity, sexual preference, the color of their skin, their religion, nothing. This guy, Matt Bowman, is the one out there making sure that everybody is on a level playing field. Except, of course, for the fact that Mr. Bowman spent most of his early